folks, here we are again for the weekly forecast, and of course the same old song and dance. Hot and dry has been pretty much it for the state, although there was some scattered thunderstorm activity. As we've seen a cold front try to move into the region, it really didn't have the push of cold air necessary to generate a significant widespread event. So once again, if you got precipitation, count your blessings, because the vast majority of the state went without any significant moisture. Now, unfortunately, you're not going to like this forecast. It is a very hot forecast, at least for the first 5 days, and then we have a chance for a funnel system to move into our state once again and possibly tap into some monsoonal moisture and generate some moisture. So let's get to it and go to the upper air maps and see what we can expect as we go through this next 7-day period. And as we go to the maps, of course, here's that old persistent high pressure system over top of our area. Very warm conditions. The expectations are today that we will see highs in the extreme northeastern Nebraska in the upper 90s, with hundreds widespread across the state and possibly 105-degree readings across portions of southwest and western Nebraska. No sign of any chance for any moisture. As we go into tomorrow, we see that high pressure still remains in place, so we're going to still be dealing with the same type of conditions. Upper 90s northeast, possibly extreme northwestern Nebraska, but for the vast majority of us, 100 to 105 looks to be the norm. Again, nothing in the way of any moisture. Now, as we go into Monday, we will see that this high pressure system is starting to try to shift a little bit back toward the south in response to a trough coming in the Pacific Northwest. And we are probably going to see some very warm conditions. We could be looking at 100 degrees in the northeast to possibly even 110 in some locations of western Nebraska, with an increasing southwesterly wind that is really going to jack up the water use of our crops under the air moving in from the southwest in advance of the surface front. We may generate an isolated thunderstorm across extreme south or northeastern Nebraska as it flows around the high pressure system, but overall our better chance start to come in as we get into late Tuesday and beyond. As this ridge starts to weaken somewhat in response to this trough, there is some moisture that may roll it up along the northern border of Nebraska and generate some late afternoon thunderstorms, but again, they look very isolated. A few of those might hit the panhandle. Highs will cool a little bit. We'll be looking at upper 90s northeast to around 105 southwest. And as we get into Wednesday, now we start to see the impacts as we start to push down this ridge. We'll see some highs in the upper 90s across the north to around 105 southwest, with increasing chances of thunderstorm activity across extreme northern Nebraska. And then Thursday, we start to push the front a little bit farther south at the surface. We'll see lows cooling into the low 90s north to the upper 90s south. Again, chances of thunderstorm activity with that monsoonal moisture riding over the top of it. As we get into Friday, maybe even cooler conditions, lows 90s northeast to the mid 90s south. 8 to 14-day forecast indicates above normal temperatures, unfortunately. Precipitation below normal. August temperatures look to be above normal across a good portion of the country, and in terms of precipitation, we still see that dry trend across eastern Nebraska.